I mean, in some sense, the Syrian civil war and all the stuff happening in the Middle East is a result of this. I often tell people there's a backdrop you have to hit here of the Islamic civil war that's taking place, right, between Sunni and Shia Islam, which is not unlike the 100-year wars in Europe between the Protestants and Catholics, right? We have Protestant and Catholics had different visions for the state and et cetera, and the Bible and all that sort of stuff, and kingdoms aligned themselves with those powers, if you will, and we fought each other for the Christians fought each other for 100 years on this stuff, and that's where a lot of what's happening in the Middle East, because you have some big epicenters of Shia and Sunni Islam, Iran and Saudi Arabia, and then the kind of the proxies that are kind of smaller but lesser known. Those are kind of going at each other, and into that you have this kind of Syrian civil war that took place. But you're right in bringing up the role of that Hezbollah played in this, because 12 weeks ago, 3 months ago, Assad could have called up Hezbollah to come and kind of defend the land, to hold the territory, and
which they did against ISIS and against others.
exactly,
That's the, they
exactly,
were the
and
real
and
reason the regime stayed.
exactly, and I remember the you know both ISIS and Hezbollah lost a lot of fighters when they were going at each other. Thousands of Hezbollah fighters died in on Syrian soil fighting ISIS. Right? It was and that was that again. ISIS was Sunni, Hezbollah was Shia, and those two groups went at each other. The majority of Assad's regime was held in place by the Shia. I remember we would visit as part of our Fearless Leadership Institute. We would go to Jordan, and we visit the refugee camps up in Jordan, that were the Sunni refugee camps, and the people who were there, they were from towns in Syria that were like 10 miles away from the refugee camp, but they were Sunni and had been driven away. And the Russians were trying to, and along with the Assad regime, trying to basically move all the Sunnis out of that kind of the area around the Golan and that near Jordan. I remember the Russians were praised for securing a peaceful move of people but a lot of people don't realize the Russians would carpet bomb a city and then carpet bomb another city, and then go to that third city and say, "Hey guys, you want to relocate?" And the people would be like, "Yeah, okay, we'll go somewhere else." And they would be moved to the northeast, or they would be moved to another part of the country as Assad was trying to ethnically cleanse and kind of clean up these areas.
Many went
Uh,
to Lebanon.
yeah, yeah. Many went to Lebanon. There's a million refugees, Sunni refugees, ended up in Lebanon. Yeah, and so you have this situation in which suddenly, 12 weeks ago, 3 months ago, Israel begins like basically decimating Hezbollah, right? The Operation Grim Reaper, where they blew up the hands and faces of 4,000 Hezbollah leadership, and then utterly decimated the actual leadership. Their organizational chart got very empty very quickly, which left almost no fighters for Assad to rely on. Right, so you had the loss of Hezbollah. You had, to me, that's probably the biggest factor in why HTS was so able to so quickly move, is because we lost, or Assad lost the defensive positions pretty quickly.